A new lawsuit is expected this week against a California fertility clinic that admits it may have accidentally destroyed thousands of frozen embryos. And at least one more lawsuit has been filed against University Hospital's Ahuja Medical Center near Cleveland. An equipment malfunction there may have damaged thousands of eggs or embryos. To find out how these types of labs operate, CBS This Morning went inside a different fertility clinic in California. Dr. Narula is here with what we learned. Tara, good morning.
Good morning, Norah. Maintaining these embryos and eggs is difficult, but there are several procedures in place that will notify doctors if and when something goes wrong. We decided to visit a fertility clinic in Santa Barbara to see how this process works and what can possibly be done to prevent devastating incidents like those we've seen.
So these are our liquid nitrogen tanks where we maintain the embryos and eggs.
Dr. Renee Allen took us through his lab at the Santa Barbara Fertility Center to show us how the clinic keeps its eggs and embryos safe.
There's a sensor here that's inside the liquid nitrogen, so if the levels were to drop too low, maybe to about here, it would then send an alert.
That alert would immediately set off this alarm. If no one is at the lab to answer it, a second alert is sent to several doctors' cell phones.
As you can see, it's at an adequate level here.
His clinic even maintains backup tanks, one of many safeguards to protect the delicate embryos.
There's 6 of these within the tank.
And while each clinic is different, news of the failure of the tanks at 2 other facilities on the same day in California and Ohio has rattled the fertility industry.
It's a real shock.
Katie Miller has been a patient with Pacific Fertility Center since 2009. She is one of about 500 people who received a letter saying that a March 4th malfunction may have affected her embryos.
I get the chills reading it now. There really are so many questions at this point, and hopefully there will be some good news, but at the same time, I know there have to be people who've already received probably very devastating news.
This is a tragic loss for anybody.
Attorney Adam Wolf tells CBS News he plans to file a class action lawsuit against the San Francisco clinic this week on behalf of the patients. He also filed a second lawsuit against the Ahuja Medical Center outside Cleveland.
What the past week has shown us is that there needs to be greater regulation, there needs to be some more controls, so that something like this never happens again.
Dr. Allen did tell us that he must have licenses from the FDA for tissue donation and for handling embryos and eggs. But he also told us there is no outside regulation on the tanks themselves, leaving doctors to maintain the safety precautions on their own. Both affected fertility clinics did not offer new statements, but they told us they are investigating the incidents.
So upsetting, the whole thing.
Yeah, every time I think about it and think about the women that are now thinking that this could have been their only hope is very, very devastating.
Exactly. It's such an investment,
Yep,
emotionally,
it is.
physically, financially.
It really is. Thank you, Tara.